In a world saturated with noise, picking out the whisper of truth amid the clamor of falsehoods is perhaps our most daunting task. Lies nowadays are so expertly woven that they almost pass for the truth. But have you ever paused to wonder if this blurring of lines between reality and deceit is an echo of ancient prophecies, hinting at the end times? As we look deeper into the ancient prophecies, we are led to the warnings about the rise of false prophets and false teachings. The prophecies unveil how people will marvel at these false teachings and love the false prophets. The book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verses 3 and 4 reads, "Above all, you must understand that in the last days scoffers will come, scoffing and following their own evil desires. They will say, 'Where is this coming he promised?' Ever since our ancestors died, everything goes on as has since the beginning of creation. Sadly, people will believe in this lie. They will stop anticipating for the coming of Jesus Christ and abandon their faith to follow these hypocritical liars. The Bible confirms that these false teachers are demons sent by the devil to deceive the world. In 1 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 and 2, Apostle Paul cautions us not to forget what the Spirit of God said about the end times. The rise of demons and their deceptions. Paul writes, "The Spirit clearly says that in the latter times some will abandon their faith and follow deceiving spirits and things taught by demons. Such teachings come through hypocritical liars whose conscience has been seared as with a hot iron." But are we in a position to discern the echo of truth from the cacophony of lies? Are we able to differentiate hypocritical liars from the holy teachers and prophets of God? How can we avoid these hypocritical liars, yet they masquerade as apostles of Christ and servants of righteousness? In 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 13 through 15, Paul writes, "For such people are false prophets, deceitful workers, masquerading as apostles of Christ. And no wonder, for Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. It is not surprising, then, if his servants also masquerade as servants of righteousness. Their end will be what their actions deserve." In Matthew chapter 7, verses 21 through 23, Jesus says, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, 'Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name, cast out demons in your name, and done many wonders in your name. And then I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who practice lawlessness. Jesus expressed deep concern that not only would the uninformed be deceived, but even some of the chosen might be led astray. As noted in Matthew chapter 24, he warns, for false messiahs and false prophets will rise and showcase great signs and wonders, seeking to deceive, if it were possible, even the elect. In the last days, people will not seek after the righteousness of God, nor teachings that build their relationship with God, nor the things that build their faith in God. Rather, they will hop from one false messiah to another, seeking miracles and great wonders in their lives. The false messiahs will take advantage of their vulnerability to deceive them and turn as many people as possible against God. Brothers and sisters, let me submit to you, these scriptures aren't alluding to events far off in some distant future. They describe the very times we live in today. We're witnessing these events transpire sequentially. False messiahs and prophets are increasingly making their presence known, showcasing their alleged miracles and broadcasting them widely across media platforms. They're leveraging every available avenue to ensnare as many as possible in their web of deceit. Take a moment and reflect on your own journey of faith. Have you ever been swept away by well-crafted falsehood? Have you ever fallen prey to the deceptions of false messiahs, thinking you had found true guidance? You see, even the most earnest and innocent souls can be led astray. But again, in such moments, we learn. In such moments, we learn the importance of cultivating discernment in our lives. False prophets cunningly manipulate God's very words, leading people away from Him. They twist the sacred teachings of the Scriptures, blinding many to the genuine truth of God. In this modern age, influential figures and prevalent ideologies spread misleading narratives. The enticement of miraculous acts, signs, and immediate answers, coupled with promises of wealth and shortcuts, has overshadowed God's authentic message and divine plan for humanity. These self-declared prophets audaciously proclaim that hell is a myth, emboldening individuals to live recklessly, believing there are no eternal consequences. In 1 John chapter 4, verse 1, Jesus advises us to test every spirit so that we can differentiate false spirits from true spirits. He asks us to watch out for the spirit of falsehood operating in the world today. Jesus says, dear friends, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God, because many false prophets have gone out into the world. But the question is, what makes one voice authentic and another false? It is the charisma the number of followers a preacher has drawn to their church. Or is it in their eloquence? What defines authenticity? And what separates the echo of truth from the clamor of lies? False prophecies, deceptive doctrines, and misleading messages can erode our personal faith. People's understanding of God is replaced by disillusionment. Societies are turned against God and led astray. False doctrines veer communities from their social compass, and the perception of shared humanity is lost. But we can protect and deliver our souls from all these. We can seek the knowledge of God, His wisdom and understanding to help us test every spirit we encounter. God's wisdom will help us navigate the current of the information that surrounds us. We must thrive to align our hearts with the unchanging truth of the Word of God. In a world full of voices, let the truth be your only compass